All right, folks, we're back here, back with us. Mac Daughety is our guest now. He is, as you know, a member of the Lenoir County Board of Commissioners, and he is running for re-election to that board. Mac, good to have you with us, sir.
Reece, it's always good to be here and a pleasure.
Thank you, Mac. Good to have you. Now, I know you, and most people who are watching us know you as a tireless worker.
Yes.
If you commit to something, you're in there and you're very serious about it.
Yes.
Now, being on the Board of County Commissioners is, I won't call it a job, but it's a mission, I think, with you more than anything else. But now you're rounding out your first full term, first 4 years on the board. Why have you decided to run for re-election?
Well, I chose to run the first time because I wanted to serve the community, and I also wanted to stand up for the taxpayers of Lenoir County. As I've served for 4 years, and what I'm going to say may sound corny to some people, and when I say this to politicians, they kind of roll their eyes, but it comes from the heart. I want to serve another term because I love the people I represent.
Right.
I work. People say, "Well, you work all the time. You work hard," and I do, and it's because that I care about the people in my district. I have the most wonderful people in District 1 in Southern Lenoir County, and because of them, and because I want to look out for the taxpayer, which is most important. That's why I want to look out for all of Lenoir County, and I want to look out for the taxpayers. And people might say, well, you should look out for all the people. But the truth of the matter is, if you look out for the taxpayer in Lenoir County,
then you're looking out for all the people.
Then we have the money, because they prosper, and the tax revenue to look out for everybody.
Yeah.
But it all starts with looking out for the interest of the taxpayers. And so that's why I chose to serve again. And I consider it more serving than running, and it's really because I truly love the people I serve.
That's obvious. District 1, what area does that cover?
District 1 is Southern Lenoir County, and it's bordered by 58 South, Highway 58 South. It extends over to the Jones and Duplin County lines, and then it is over
on the way to Trenton out there, right, in a way, at 58 South.
It goes down a little bit down 58 South, and then it moves on.
No, it doesn't go to Trenton, of course.
No,
that's another area.
But, and it's a short part of 58 South, but down to 58 on the eastern side, it goes all the way to Jones County. Right. Then it goes to Duplin County line, back to Wayne County line, and on the northernmost is bounded by the Neuse River. So it's a pretty good sized district. It's not as big as it was first term. When I ran first term, it included the Woodington community as well, and it was the largest district in Lenoir County.
Right. What is one-to-one technology?
One-to-one technology is where the schools come in and we negotiate a lease with Apple, and then we provide each student with an iPad so that they can learn using the day's technology so that they can best be competitive in the world we're in.
Right.
When I was, as you know, I serve on the Task Force for Improving Schools, and I was on their technology committee, and I also was on the interview committee last year for the Teacher of the Year. And when we went around the schools, north, south,
I saw a lot of disparity.
East, I saw a tremendous disparity in the opportunity, the technological opportunities for our students. The one good thing about the one-to-one technology is it will level the playing field for all of the students in Lenoir County, whether you are in the southern end, in my district, whether you're in the northern end or in the inner city schools, you will have access to the exact same technology. And if you ever travel to, for example, Banks or Contentney, Savannah, and you watch them teaching in the first grade, and they're paired in tandem, and the students are solving a problem together on an iPad, and when they finish, they then turn around and one partner interviews the other partner using iMovie, and it's just amazing on how they solve the project. And I'm sitting there in amazement because I'm a pretty strong technology guy, and I can't figure out how to use iMovie. So it helps us move our classes. It's one big quantum leap for Lenoir County education into the 21st century.
And to make that available to these young people, very
Yes.
young people,
Yes.
who are just starting to build a foundation. They're with what's going on instead of out there somewhere.
Absolutely, and as part of our technology task force, we studied whether to start in the high schools or to start in K through 5, which is what we will do this year.
Yeah.
And it was, the kids are learning at such an early age, we decided to start and let them progress all the way through with the technology. Right. This year it's K through 5. Next year we will implement that technology in the middle schools, and the plan for the third year is to implement it in the high schools.
Yeah.
And so kids starting K through 5 now will have that technology all the way through school.
Now, one thing that the county, and not just Lenoir County, but I'm sure all the counties in North Carolina certainly are affected by, are some of the actions by the legislature, members whom you know very well.
Yes.
On our legislation in the House and the Senate in Raleigh. Mandates, have mandates as such, have you seen them maybe lessen a little bit over the past couple of years?
The prior 3 years when I served on the commissioner board, we really had a dilemma with unfunded mandates. This year, I think our legislators were more attentive and listening to what we were saying.
Wonderful.
They heard the message, and I thought this year we got less unfunded mandates. In fact, they went back and tried to correct some of the previous issues from previous years.
Yeah.
So I think it's becoming better. We're getting a better, I think, working relationship now between county commissioners and the legislature.
Are we going to have a sales tax, a request for a sales tax increase?
I hope not.
Certainly not on the November ballot, but
not on the November ballot. It's hard to project that right now. I don't see it this year. I don't see it next year. The potential for third or fourth year down the road, depending on what the economy does. If the economy starts taking traction, and Lord knows we're way behind on it doing that, because generally, historically in the United States, recessions last 7 years. This one's extended far beyond that. Yeah. And if we can ever break out of this, and then jobs and hiring and revenue starts
full speed ahead.
Yes, right. then we'll be in great shape. So it's hard to project the future, but as it looks now, it could be iffy in the third or fourth year. But as people who know me know, I will never vote for a property tax increase.
That's right. That's come up before.
Yes, and I voted against it, and I'll vote against it every day that I'm in office because I think we can do things better.
Amen. And the higher property taxes are, and most anybody would know this, the greater deterrent it is on the part of businesses and individuals to move into our area.
Absolutely. And at some point, and I made this point in our budget sessions last year and the year before, at some point raising property taxes becomes counterproductive.
No doubt.
Because if you've got a farmer who has
raising
operations,
more but collecting not more than what you were collecting before.
That's exactly right, because
maybe even less.
You deter that revenue base from being there.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we get that and we won't have to go there. I won't go there.
That's right. Now, a lot of good things are happening here, and I love to highlight them. When I go by the Woodman Center out there, and I had Bill Ellis on recently, I'm really, there's a lot of pride you feel, you know, being in a community that has attracted a facility such as that.
Yes.
It's the envy, really, of other facilities similar to it in the state because it's just huge and it's powerful in so many ways. And Sanderson Farms.
Yes.
You go, who would have ever thought we would have a facility of that type, that large, here in our community? And
let me say, Reece, before I came today, there was an article that I posted on the Facebook from the Boston Herald about what is happening in downtown Kinston.
It's fantastic.
It talked about the chef and the farmer. It talked about Mother Earth Brewing. It talked about the boiler room. People all over the country are recognizing what we're doing to revitalize downtown. It talked about Stephen Hill and Mother Earth and his efforts.
Yes, sir.
I was at the legislature back earlier, and we recognized Vivian and Ben Howard and Ben Knight for the Chef's Life series. And I was talking to the marketing manager, and she was telling me at the time, she said, our largest market is in Manhattan. One of their top three markets is Chicago. We have people coming from California staying at the Bentley so they can go and dine in our local restaurants.
Yes, yes.
And if people haven't seen the article from the Boston Herald that I
They
put
can
up
pull
today,
it up,
they
can
can
they?
pull it up on Facebook. It is a phenomenal. It should be a marketing tool
It
for
certainly
downtown
should be.
Kinston. Yes.
Absolutely, should be.
Yes.
I was in Raleigh recently and was talking to someone who, they're not from here. There's a couple of them, and they were talking about the Chef and the Farmer.
Yes.
They had been in this area, and when they were in this area, they particularly wanted to go to the Chef and the Farmer.
Yes.
So it is being heard of. And the Woodman Center, we'll talk about that again, it is becoming known by people all over the country, really. And
Bill Ellis called me last year. I was down at the beach, my wife and I, and he called and he said, "Are you in town?" I said, "Well, no, I'm not. I'm down at Moorhead." And he said, I wish you were in town. I want you to come by and see the number of buses here from out of town." And I said, "Bill," I said, "my wife will be here. We're going to get in the car. We're going to drive back. If you're excited, I'm going to come." And there were 16 buses from out of town, from Carteret County, from Beaufort County, Wake County, and Rocky Mount. Right. It was just amazing.
Okay. How do you feel about your re-election campaign?
Well, I feel
you're running unaffiliated.
I'm running unaffiliated, and because I feel my obligation is to the taxpayer, and not to any particular ideology, but to looking out for our taxpayers. I feel that I think the choice is very clear. I've worked very hard, and if the people in my district are looking for someone who's going to work very hard for them, then I think my record stands on that. If they're looking for someone that's going to be a strong voice and advocate for Lenoir County and Southern Lenoir County, then I think my record stands good there. And if the taxpayers are looking for somebody that's going to look out for their interests, then I think I've proven that over the last 4 years too.
Okay.
So,
Mike, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Reece. It's always a pleasure. And thank you for providing these kind of forums of public information so that our people can see what is happening in this great community, but they also can see the issues and discussions regarding those issues.
Yeah, people can see things that they can be proud of.
Absolutely.
And see things that they can make better than they are.
Yeah.
Working together, you know, the strength in numbers when it's a positive direction, and that's where we're headed.
Absolutely.
Mike Daughety, folks, I know that you knew him long before he sat here, obviously. He is visible. He is out among the folks, and I know you know that. Our county commissioner for re-election this year running as unaffiliated candidate, as he did before, for the Lenoir County Board of Commissioners. David Rouser is coming up. He is, as you probably know, a candidate for the United States House of Representatives. So, don't go away.